If you are truly being intentional in your life and you want to find love and you're just over the dating, okay, make sure to subscribe because this is all the things that I'm all about. I found my happily ever after my person. We've been married together for 16 years. So if that resonates with you, if you want no BS, straight advice on how you can find it too, make sure you subscribe. Make this a habit where you can always find out when I post a new episode every Monday and Thursday. Love is Blind UK. The latest episodes are out. Who got married and who didn't? Let's dive into it. Freddie. I think that was one of the ones that surprised me. I really feel like he was so impacted by his sister. I don't know what his sister's deal is. I don't know if she's happily married. She didn't have anybody at the wedding, so it seems like, she's alone. I just feel like what her worry was, she said that this girl, Kat, is too different from him. And there's differences, and she's just so worried about the differences. Differences should never be a deal breaker. That just doesn't make sense. If your values are aligned, which they were, between Kat and Freddie, then that is the most important, and what they saw for their life together and their family that they wanted to build. And, he thought that his concern was, oh, is she too bougie? And maybe, I can't give her the life that she wants. And Kat kept telling him, I'm not bougie like that. Like, I'm so happy to stay home and be with you and chill. And, once in a while, she likes to go to her brunch with her girlfriends. But it just felt like he was really judging her and scared and fearful and also he was scared that she was pretending to be someone she wasn't, which is total bullshit. Like, I just feel like, he may have some issues, trust issues. Maybe he's done that in the past where he pretended to be someone he's not. And he's projecting that fear onto her. And Kat is telling him, this is who I am. And he doesn't believe her, and then his sister is swaying him to not get married. And so Freddie says no. And I'm just like, I really hope that Kat does not continue this relationship with Freddie. Like, this is the rest of their life. Like, people tell you who they are. People tell you their priorities. He had said, oh, let's do the prenup and everything goes to my sister. Like, his sister will run the show forever. That's it, like, hands down. So if she's okay being in the back seat while him and his sister drive into the sunset, then okay. But that's not what Kat deserves. Kat deserves to be a priority. Kat deserves to be trusted. And Freddie isn't doing it. Freddie's listening to whatever his sister says. And who knows how her lens is messed up from her past experiences. So you got to be careful who you're listening to, what advice you're taking. And I truly feel like Freddie made a massive mistake and Kat dodged a bullet. And I'm like, yay, Kat. But I truly feel what might happen, and we're going to find out in the reunion that is coming out today. What we're going to find out is if they're still together. And I really hope that Kat does not stay with him. I just feel like she's going to be delaying the inevitable, and it's going to blow up in her face, and she's only have lost more time and energy, and become like this more vulnerable heart because, she's had her abandonment issues from being adopted. She talked about that and how she's always, so insecure in that way where she's like, she wants someone to stick around and show up for her and love her. And Freddie didn't do that. Freddie left her at the altar. Like, this is so nasty. Like, this is so messed up on so many levels. And if he thinks he can do that to her and she can tolerate that bullshit and still give him a chance, I'm like, you're crazy, Freddie. No, nice try. I know, I used to like Freddie. I'm like, Freddie, I used to like you. But no, you ruined it. I hope Kat sees that too. Okay. And he's like, do you trust in our connection? Fuck off. Like, honestly, fuck off. Okay. Sabrina and Steven are amazing. And there's something else to be said. Like, surprise, surprise, they got married. Of course they did. They're so freaking precious. They're so aligned. It's like the most obvious thing in the world that they were just so good together. And then, hello, Jasmine and Bobby, the cutest. They're so precious. Like Bobby won me over in the last few episodes, and I just really love both of them. And what they said, you guys, is so exactly what I'm about, is finding that safe feeling where you're like secure, you're not feeling anxious. Jasmine said that. She was like, oh my God, like the way that I feel with Bobby makes me feel like I've never been in love. And that's exactly actually what ends up happening. Like when you find that perfect partner, you're like, wait, it feels so easy. It feels like I can, I can trust this and I don't have to worry. Does he love me today, tomorrow, whatever? Like you just know it. And it's like unconditional love. And you have this rock there for you. It's absolutely beautiful and powerful. And I love that Jasmine sees it. And even though that they've had disagreements, she's like, I love how we can talk so openly and vulnerably. And Bobby is not combative. It doesn't have to be combative. She's always had these kind of relationships that it's so combative. I'm like, yes, I know what you mean, Jasmine. Like I've been there and I know you have too, right? So it's like, this exists for you. Like, I hope you watch the show and you're inspired. I hope you're like, yes, this exists for me. This is evidence of, and this is how it looks like. I want you to know that I found it with Will. You can find this too, just like the people on Love is Blind UK. And this is how it looks like. Okay. And then I want to talk about Benaya. So I love Benaya. Like I do. And Nicole, they're just so freaking precious. I love them. And what he says, like, choked me up. The way he said it too was so beyond. He was like, how we operate as a team, how I operate with, with Nicole as a team. I don't know how I've gone my whole life without it. Like something like that. It was just so freaking sweet. And I can't tell you enough how, like Will's told me that in the past. He's like, I wish, like, I can't believe I went so many years of my life without you. I wish I would have met, like, it's just interesting when you find that perfect match. You're like, oh my God, I want to do everything with you. And can we rewind our life and I'll do it all. But like, I love how Benaya appreciates Nicole and adores her. And they both are the cutest and they have this great silliness together. But they also can be really vulnerable. And I love like his emotional side too. They're amazing. And I was not surprised when they both said I do. They're just the cutest. So I love them. And then we have, oh my God, who was it? Demi. I actually was a bit like, I know that Demi and Ollie were not going to end up together. Like I knew it. But I was a little bit surprised that Demi's the one that said no. And I'm like, wait a second. What? I'm like, wait, what happened? So now I'm feeling like there's more to the story. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I want to know what really went on in that relationship. Why did she really say no? And like, Ollie's response to me is so bizarre. Like, I just don't get it. I feel like he's like, oh, this is great. I'm not sad. I met a great and amazing person. And he talks as if they're still going to stay together. And I'm just like, wait, what? I don't see it. Like, I just don't see them together. And so like, what am I missing? Like, let me know here in the YouTube comments if you're listening there, or reach out to me on Instagram, the Jackie Loor. Let me know, is this resonating with you where like, are you confused too about Ollie? I'm like, what happened? I'm not trusting Ollie. I just don't trust him, and I like Demi. So I'm glad she said no. But I also want to know the story. I want to know what happened. So we're going to hear the reunion coming up. And then the last one, oh my God, you guys, stop. I'm like, I was so upset when I saw that with Tom. Tom said no and went to Maria. And when Tom said no, I'm like, wait a second, why? And what he said, the reason why, I just was floored. Like, I was like, are you fucking kidding me, Tom? He said, oh, it's about our values. Maria was upset that Tom didn't pay for that first date on the ice cream. And she said how important it was for a man, like in the beginning of the courtship, to be the generous one and pay for things. He didn't agree with it. And what he said after he said no to Maria, he was like, I want to raise my children, my daughter, to be an independent, strong woman. And I'm not going to raise her like Maria wants, where she should expect a man to pay for things. I'm like, oh my gosh, Tom, what the fuck? Like, that's not at all what Maria is saying. Like, Maria is a strong, independent woman. And this is where I'm like, Tom, you're so ridiculous. Like, you're ridiculous. You don't get it. You really don't get it. And if you had those kind of concerns and you were emotionally mature, you could have communicated that concern to Maria. But I truly feel like he is so limited in his thinking, and he's like, has his beliefs. And like, he's 38 years old or whatever, right? 37, 38. He's been single. He's never been married. Like, he probably is like more gung-ho about whatever he thinks, and it's harder to be open-minded, to learn. Maybe he doesn't have such a growth mindset, but like, I feel like that reason was beyond bullshit. Like, in his mind, that was a reason, but in my perspective, are you fucking kidding me, Tom? You missed it completely. You could be a strong, independent woman and have standards and say, hey, when I'm dating, I want to be treated a certain way. And the guy go over and beyond to take me out. And there's nothing wrong with wanting that, Tom. Like, what the hell? And like, he wonders, why is he still single? Yeah, Tom, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Don't try to make it seem like Maria is out of line, or any woman is out of line, to expect a man to pay for the freaking first date. Get the fuck over yourself, Tom. Like, seriously, ew. I used to like Tom. And this is why it's so good to take your time to see and how their actions align and are like who they really are. This is so important, to not rush the physical, like, seriously, so you don't put any blinders on. You know, you meet somebody and you see, how do they show up for me? Are they being generous? What are the disagreements about? What is their concern? How do they communicate it? Tom, I feel like he showed glimpses of, you know, judgment. He judged Maria last time. We talked about it when she said, you know, he judged her for being a makeup artist. What the hell, Tom? I was just like, I'm so grossed out by him. And I think that if he represents how many men think, like, we're in, like, that's concerning. Like, I actually want to hear from the guys on this too. Like, let me know. And like, is that what you're feeling? Do you agree with Tom? Like, oh my God, if we're going to raise children to expect the man to pay for the first date, they're not going to be strong, independent women. I'm like, Tom, I feel like I just lost brain cells. I was like listening to him. I'm like, my Tom. Like, Maria's a badass. She is a badass, and she's going to kill it, and she's going to end up with an amazing partner. I know it. Tom, he's going to be alone and probably go out with a girl that doesn't, like, he tolerates bullshit. She's going to be picking up the bill for his ass, you know, and like, I'm all about equal team and all of this, right? But you got to be in that beginning courtship. Maria had all the right to say that. And for his response to be like this, I think he was, at the end of the day, looking for an out. I don't think he was ever really in. And like, this was a stupid excuse to not go through with it. I don't trust him. And like, how he flirted with Tosh was super gross too. So I feel like he wasn't all in. Like, when you feel Steven's energy with Sabrina, Steven isn't flirting with other people, and he has that like open energy, and, oh, I'm curious about how it would be with that girl. No, he was all in. You could feel it. You know, when a guy has his heart set on somebody, it's like, I'm not open to anyone else. Like, anyone around him could feel that energy. That guy's not available. Tom was always available. Tom was like, I'm with Maria, but hey, Tosh, or hey, whatever, you know, and I could feel that. And so now he's using this stupid excuse about the freaking children and blah, blah, pain. But I'm like, you're reaching. Be real. The real reason is you probably want to fuck around still, and you probably will never get married. Like, let's keep it real. Like, I'd rather him say that than the bullshit he did say. Oof. All right, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys agree? I know you do. I know you do. No, but let me know. Let me know. And I'm going to watch that reunion. And I hope you guys watch it too. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you guys. And remember, don't settle for bullshit. Don't settle for anything less than crazy love, because it has to be crazy love or nothing. Until next time, thank you.